And, I know you're enjoying your time away from Washington, D.C., but I do want to talk to you about what I think we can both agree is probably the most pressing issue facing Congress when this recess ends, and that's the budget, the debt ceiling, a potential government shutdown, and Obamacare, and all, of course, they're all connected. There's real concern about the collateral damage that could result if there is, in fact, a government shutdown, which Senators Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and Mike Lee have threatened unless Obamacare is defunded. But I read in the Houston Chronicle that you have an alternative plan that would still defund Obamacare but also prevent a shutdown. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we call it Keep the Government Open. Now, mind you, I was there in '96 when we had a government shutdown, and people, the press has not told this accurately. We actually had bills passed that kept the government open. The actual person they shut down was Bill Clinton when he vetoed those bills. So what we did is we introduced a bill that said Keep the Government Open Act, which funds everything but Obamacare. And if the president signs it, the government stays open and everybody's happy. But unfortunately, we'll be characterized as something else. But we want to pass the bill, Keep the Government Open Act, and then go around and promote the bill, and not just turn it over to Obama until I have him veto it right away. But say, please sign this, Mr. President, keep the government open.
Yeah, and there's been some criticism, about these bills like this from even within the Republican Party. Some folks, including Republicans, say that nothing's really going to change until the GOP can get control of the Senate and get control of the White House. But I wanted to ask you, to answer the concerns of those folks, what specifically differentiates your plan from the 40 or so other bills aimed at decapitating Obamacare that have faced that type of criticism from even inside the GOP? Some folks even calling those votes empty gestures.
Well, the thing is that the Congress, the lower house, has the right and the privilege to fund what we want. Actually, the Senate doesn't have that privilege. And we can fund whatever we want. And if we frame the network, if we argue on their terms and we lose the argument, what I'm saying is we need to argue. I mean, he called it the Affordable Care Act, and it's a joke because it's now $3 trillion, and if illegal aliens become legal, it'll be $6 trillion. So you're talking about a bill with a misnomer name. And so I said, we as Republicans need to start marketing more clever and get our message out. And one of the things that we're doing wrong is we're accepting the argument that when we defund Obamacare that we're closing the government down. We're not. In fact, we're saving the nation futures by not funding it. And it would be a huge burden off the backs of business to prevent that becoming law. But as Republicans, we get out a calculator real quick and show us that the bill doesn't cost X, Y, Z, and then the Democrats will bring out somebody in a wheelchair, and we lose the argument on visual. So I think the main important thing is, I want to shift the argument to keeping the government open and not talk about keeping it closed or closing it, because it's not accurate at all.
Yeah, that's certainly one of those huge things that can get massaged and turned around and twisted in different ways depending on how it's reported. And a lot of people do forget that the nation's checkbook does belong to the House of Representatives. It's their responsibility.